Hello and welcome. This is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. This is the flow of God's own state. It is the third week in the month of March 2021. And of course, today is the Monday, the first official work day of the week, being the 15th day of the month of March. Welcome once again. It is the mid-month. My name is Michael Oni. This is where we take a critical look at issues as it affect our dear nation, Nigeria, in different sectors, from politics to economy to business. And of course, we spread our tentacles both in the country, in Nigeria, and also in Abia State. My name is Michael Oni, and this morning we're taking at a very, very critical issue, the issue of boundary clashes, of course, as it affected Abia State and neighboring state. But this time around, we're focusing on a very particular local government, AROCHUKWU local government, because over the weekend there was this renewed clash between the Ubo community, resident of Ubo community in AROCHUKWU local government area of Abia State, and they are appealing to the Abia State government to come to their rescue as the renewed clash actually with the Ipanja people in Akwa Ibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State claimed the life of a resident in a very gruesome murder. Of course, unfortunate incident, but we're going to be getting the background to that unfortunate incident this morning. I have joining me the president of Nzoko Aro Home Branch, Mazi Jerry Onwumere. Mazi is presently joining me virtually. He's on ground, and of course, he witnessed what happened over the weekend. Mazi, can you hear me? Good morning to you.
Good morning to you and good morning, Abia.
Thank you very much. You're live on Flow 94.9 FM. Glad to have you join us this morning. And we really like to get the background of what happened, what is happening in your community before we delve into what happened over the weekend. Can you give us a background? What led to this? What led to this boundary clash between your community and the neighboring community in Akwa Ibom State?
Okay, thank you. The issue or the incident started as a result of Ipanja people from Ibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State coming over to Ubo community where Ubo people have palm trees, an estate, palm tree estate close to their boundary. They came in there to harvest palm fruits that belongs to Ubo community and not to their own. Though the two communities have been living in peace,
okay,
they have been enjoying each other's relationship before this unfortunate incident occurred. The youth, it was youth, not particularly the entire Banja. Some youth that are looking for trouble came in there to harvest palm nuts that didn't belong to them but belonged to Ubo community. And when they were trying to ward off, they refused and come back and started fomenting trouble since Friday night. This started Friday afternoon when Ubo people were alerted that people are harvesting their palm nuts. They rushed down to that place and asked them to leave. They refused. It was from the refuser that they were now apprehended with the palm nuts and everything, taken to Ubo chief. And Ubo chief asked them questions. After questioning them, they released them, allowed them to go. And some of them who escaped went straight to their place and informed their people that AROCHUKWU people has apprehended 4 of their men and has held them hostage. Then they started announcing it over the radio. They rushed to the radio house AKBC and started announcing it. Within a twinkle of an eye, the news was everywhere that their people had been held. And like they used to do, they started calling other communities to join forces with them, and then they also informed the government to also mobilize them. They started coming against us. That is the genesis of the issue, starting on Friday. Okay,
it started on Friday. What led to the gruesome murder of a resident of your community, Igbo community in AROCHUKWU local government area?
Yes.
What led to that? How?
Okay. The incident, as I said, started on Friday.
Okay.
Then on Saturday, the youths were at the boundary, waiting for these people, because they know since they have come to attack them in the night on Friday, destroying their farm, their rice farm, destroying their a kind of rice mill that is around that area, destroy it, and then in the night on Friday. So Saturday they were waiting for them because they know they will come again, and they came. There was a shootout on Saturday, which 4 Ugbo people sustained a very serious injury. Some of them are still in the hospital as I speak to you. 2 have died out of that injury. Then yesterday, Sunday, was the climax where people went to church thinking that things is normal. They went to church. By 12 noon, these people came again in their number with sophisticated weapons and started firing everywhere. All the church members and church people and everybody scampered and, for their dear life. Therefore, they started shooting and exchanging guns with the Ugbo youth. Then they overpowered them and then apprehended one Obasi. This Obasi is one of the young Ugbo youth. They have killed the guy before a broad daylight inside Ugbo town, not in the boundary this time around. They came into Aro. Then they beheaded this young man before the glare eyes of everyone. Beheaded it, which is the kind of thing that we've seen in a Boko Haram incident. Beheaded him in the afternoon and took the head to their home. As I speak to you, the head of the guy maybe has been buried in Nepanja. As I speak to you.
Okay. This is a very, very gruesome murder, and with the picture you painted this morning, unfortunate incident, I must say, and we shouldn't allow it lead to such a situation where someone's head is being cut off. But you explained this morning that you've never had issues with the Ipanja people of Akwa Ibom State before this unfortunate incident had happened over the weekend.
Yes. Why I'm saying we have not had issue. It is not maybe that brother and brother or sister or uncle and cousin doesn't have some, misunderstanding. But anything that led in a quest of, spilling blood has not actually occurred in that axis.
Okay.
There have always been a little misunderstanding.
Mazi Jerry, how close is Ugbo community to Ipanja community in Ibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State? How close?
Okay. They are so close. Let me use the word so close. That as that thing happened, when those boys were apprehended and brought to their chief, the Ugbo chief immediately put a call across to Ipanja chief, who also told him that they have not sent anybody to go and harvest palm nuts from any.
I'm talking about kilometers now. Your community to the neighboring community. How close are you in terms of kilometers and the land mass?
Okay. From Ugbo town to where this palm tree is about 2 kilometers away from Ugbo town, where the palm tree is. Then from that palm tree to Ekpanja itself is almost another 2 kilometers or 3 to their town.
Is it trackable?
So you can see that it's almost 5 kilometers away.
So is it trackable? Do you track it?
Yes, it's trackable. Yes, people can track it.
And
yes.
And what you had, the understanding you had with Ubom, with Ugbo community and the Panja is that particular farm belongs to Ugbo community. Has that been known? Has that been a fact before this unfortunate incident that happened over the weekend?
Yes, they are aware. They know very well. They have been in fact, they are the one who do harvest this palm nut for us. They are the one. We call them, they climb there and harvest it. We pay them, they go.
So I'm trying to understand the root cause of this issue, because you've not had issues right from the background. You've not had issues, and you've not had any misunderstanding. And in the wake of one morning, some persons will just walk into your farm and start harvesting your crop. Have you reported this incident to any of our security operatives in Abia State?
In as much as the one at hand is concerned, we reported it.
And what about the feedback? Have they been deployed to your area for the situation to be calm?
Yes, because personally, I made a report immediately to Okemo, who is our publicity secretary general at Omahia, who works with Federal FM there, and he made a call to the government house. The deputy governor took it upon himself, and also with the other security agents, they informed the brigadier general that is in charge of Ohofia division of Nigerian Army, and they dispatched some army to come and join those in Aro. They patrolled the place throughout yesterday, but then since the deed has been done before they came to patrol, because if the deed has not been done, they would have saved this life that was lost. They came to patrol, and after some hour they left.
It was also alleged that members of your community were abducted by the attackers. Were allegedly abducted, according to some of the narratives we got in our newsroom over the weekend.
Yes.
Are you confirming that?
This war, yes, this their case is as if it was a planned deal from them. The very day on Saturday was market day in Aro, market day, which is the main market themselves. They buy and sell their fish and other things they produce. Then most of them call their brothers that are living inside Aro town that they are not coming today, or even if they are coming, they will take another route to that Nkwo village, because Nkwo village is different from Ugbo. That they will take another route, that their people are planning for war. That was how we got the information from those of them living with us. The people from there called them that they are not coming to market today, that even if they are coming, they are not taking Ugbo route, that they are taking another route, that there's war coming. They said they should be aware. So the war was as if it is a stage by stage. So it was on Saturday.
You're alleging that it was premeditated.
Yes, by them.
All right.
If it is not, they would have been able to stop from where we stopped.
So what do you want from Abia State government?
Well, I think I will first of all thank the deputy governor for dispatching the army and police who came to patrol after the incident might have occurred. Because Ohofia or Aumahia is far from Aro. So they wanted to apply and come. They came, but the deed has been done. So what I'm asking the state government to do now is to make that they should provide a standby security. Aro is a border town. We need Homeland Security station in Aro. We need Homeland Security station in Aro. Homeland Security was meant to protect the border of Abia State in every form. Therefore, AROCHUKWU as a border, AROCHUKWU is one of the community that has the highest number of border in Abia State. Every corner of AROCHUKWU is bordered by Cross River and Akwa Ibom State. Going out and coming in is bordered by the other communities from another state. Therefore, there should be Homeland Security station here in AROCHUKWU. That is my appeal to the government. They should do that for us because we need security. People that live in border doesn't joke with their security. Think of Israel. Look at how Israel take care of their security because they know they are bothered with many people.
In Ugbo community, that's in AROCHUKWU, where you are calling from this morning, where we are having this conversation, where you are having this conversation with Flow FM. Do you have a police post?
The answer is no. We don't have a police post, but we have a police division in AROCHUKWU, but
police
not in
division, not in Ugbo community. Yes. How close is that? How close is that division, divisional police post to Ugbo community?
Well, it is not far from Ugbo community, but they don't have police.
They don't have police.
The number of police there is not up to 10.
Interesting. So are you saying they can't comfortably
they cannot man the places. They cannot
secure your area and also secure where it is located?
No, they don't have a number of policemen there. AROCHUKWU local government is large. There are people from that station. They post people to Abam, they post people to Yochoba, they post people to Isu, where they are fighting. Where they are fighting with Cross River side there. So it is the same police station.
All right. Thank you very much, Mazi Jerry Onwumere, for speaking to us this morning, and of course giving you and giving us and your community their own side of the story this morning. Thank you very much. We do appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. All right. Now you have the background to the conversation this morning. Of course, we will try and also get the account of the neighboring community, talking about the Akwa Ibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State, and also to get to the root of the matter this morning. As we're also going to try and connect with the Honorable Commissioner for Information in Akwa Ibom State. But now you have an idea of what we're talking about this morning. This is not the first time we're reporting boundary clashes with Akwa Ibom State. Just over the weekend, the member representing Ikwano constituency in the Abia State House of Assembly, Honorable Stanley Nwabuisi, cried out over the terror rating clashes between the people of Ariam, AROCHUKWU community, and the neighboring any local government area of the same Akwa Ibom State over boundary dispute. He spoke, that was on Saturday, in an interview, and he lamented that lives have been lost, properties are also destroyed, just as the one narrated this morning by Mazi Jeriowu Omomere, saying that the people of the area have lost 28 persons to the crisis. The lawmaker noted that the people of the area are law-abiding and stated that they have since halted retaliation against the people of any local government area of Akwa Ibom State. And just in September last year, the chairman of the Nigeria Boundary Commission paid a visit to Abia State government on this same issue. But let's continue the conversation this morning.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
We have joining us this morning the special advisor to the governor on boundary matters, Christopher Onwanevo. I hope I didn't murder your name, Mr. Christopher. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Glad to have you join us this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. I'm sure you're aware of what is happening in our boundaries, of course, communities, boundary communities in Abia State. The latest that happened over the weekend is the Ubo community in AROCHUKWU. It happened there. I'm sure you're aware. Are you aware of that incident?
The Ubo community.
Yes, in AROCHUKWU local government area of Abia State. Have you been briefed?
On the Ubo community incident?
Yes, with Ipanja people in Akwa Ibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State.
Thank you. The issue, I have a brief of what has happened.
All right. What brief have you gotten about the recurring boundary clashes in AROCHUKWU? Let's start with that this morning, Mr. Christopher.
The issue in Ubo, in AROCHUKWU local government area, is a very highly regrettable one, in that Ubo is not one of the communities in dispute, because Ubo is entirely in Abia State, but it shares a common boundary with the AROCHUKWU, the Akwa Ibom state government at the Banja Aziz. So the disputes they have encountered is on land ownership. The boundary dispute has to do on farmlands, not on any other matter that has to do with claim of a community or thereabout. And in the past, we have been able to look into the disputes between the AROCHUKWU local government and the Akwa Ibom state local government, the local government in that sector. And we were able to try to resolve the boundary disputes by initially meeting with the two states, Abia and Akwa Ibom, and then providing solutions, which one of them was to preliminarily demarcate the boundary between Abia and the Akwa Ibom states, so that what is being contested will be placed properly on paper and presented in a conference for the stakeholders on boundary dispute resolution in the country to look into. This we were able to accomplish beginning from 2020 2004 to 2005. We have done that. One of the problems we are having is there are little flash areas that we have not been able to undertake since after then. One of the locations is the Itumbuzo Axis, where the Akwa Ibom state is laying claim on the communities of Itumbauzo. And then the issue of AROCHUKWU and Oranya Axis. So these two issues have made it difficult for the assignment we carried out in 2004 and 2005 to be effectively looked into and possibly resolved on a conference table. So the present incident that happened between the Ubo and their counterparts from AROCHUKWU, the Banja people, is on farmland. The AROCHUKWU people have their farmland extending across the Iyevara, which by mistake, error, and lack of proper knowledge of the boundaries in that area, the Iyevara was made to be the boundary between Abia, between Imo State and Cross River State, as at 1985, when Decree 23 of 1985 was propounded. Now, having studied the decree and its implementation on the ground, it was discovered that the decree remains inconsistent, such that communities said to be in one state is put into another state. And some towns, markets, important development of some communities are severed from them and put into another community belonging to another state, making it difficult for them to be together in one state as a community. When these ambiguities were discovered, we made recommendations to the federal government, and then the National Boundary Commission was directed to look into how to resolve these ambiguities and then create an acceptable boundary between the communities.
Okay.
That was what necessitated the preliminary survey demarcation of the Abia Akwa Ibom boundary in 2004 and 2005. Then the job has remained inconclusive. If we have concluded it and then commenced the resolution with the claims of the communities looked into, using the document in support of their claims and determining their legality, it would have enabled the stakeholders to determine who owns what.
Okay, you've stated that the job has remained inconclusive.
Yes.
Do we have an idea when that can be settled so that it can be conclusive and we can have a lasting solution to this renewed clash between the two communities now, the one involving us here in Abia State and the neighboring community in Akwa Ibom State?
Thank you. All governments that has operated since the creation of Abia State have been very proactive to the settlement of boundary disputes in this between Abia State and our neighboring states. And the present government, led by Dr. Victor Okezi Bazo, took boundary as one of its important assignments and has judiciously followed the resolution of boundary disputes. What has happened since the past 2 years is that our neighbors of Akwa Ibom has not been akin to actual meetings and the implementation of agreement, communicate, reached in such meetings towards the resolution of these boundaries. Like in the case of AROCHUKWU issue Axis, the last meeting that was held by November last year in Abuja resolved that a committee should be set up to look into the disputing the disputants, and then find a way of resolving it, so that the people who are refugees presently in AROCHUKWU will go back to their home. Unfortunately, when we came back here, the Akwa Ibom state government refused the implementation of this agreement, which had made it difficult for these people to relocate back to their homes. And then the person functioning now as their state officer in charge of boundaries seem not to know what has happened in the past. He insists on all resolutions that have been reached for the past 25 years on that boundary to be revisited. And it is a costly position, because if you had followed the history of the boundary disputes in Nigeria, vis-a-vis Abia and Akwa Ibom State, Abia Cross River State, you will understand that a lot of lives have been lost, communities burnt, and a lot of wealth wasted. And then we have tried to resolve these things up to the level now that we have brought killings, fightings, and the arson to a very minimal level. And somebody is thinking of going back to revisit those issues we have resolved. So it is what has made it difficult for us to implement the positions we would have we would have decided to implement on the Abia boundary.
All right.
So this one now that is happening in Ubo and the Banje is land matter.
All right.
Maybe it's being brought about by this farming season. And we are immediately going to look into what to do to make sure that they don't fight.
All right, Mr. Christopher Nwanevo, we do really appreciate you for bringing us the side of the Abia State government to this issue, a very, very critical one. We're looking at this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. Thank you very much for sharing the government's thought on this issue this morning on Flow 94.9 FM. We do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's Mr. Christopher Nwanevo, the special advisor to Abia State Governor on boundary matters. I told you that we will have a balanced conversation this morning. We shall be talking to the Commissioner for Information in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Ine Obong. Of course, he spoke with us, and you shall hear that this morning on the platform. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, right here on Flow 94.9 FM. And this program runs every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday on the Flow of God's own state.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
All right, we have joining us this morning the member representing AROCHUKWU State Constituency at the Abia State House of Assembly, Honorable Mike Okwoha. Well, he's well affected because what is happening in that constituency affects him directly. He's from that constituency. I think Honorable Mike is joining us virtually also this morning. Can you hear me, Honorable Mike? Good morning to you. You can hear me loud and clear.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much for joining us. You're live on Flow 94.9 FM. I'm sure that you're aware of what is happening in your constituency. This is not the first time this is happening. And of course, unfortunately, this is the first time it is happening in Ubo community. What have you done to find a lasting solution to this issue of boundary clashes between your community and neighboring communities in Akwa Ibom State?
Yeah, thank you very much. What happened over the weekend at Ubo community between Ubo and the Banja? I received a phone call about the attack, and then I quickly called the security agencies, the Commissioner of Police, the military at Ohofia, and the brigade commander actually responded immediately, and the attack was brought to normalcy. That was on Saturday. Then on Sunday, that was yesterday, they came back again. And I received a call in the morning, and I equally called the military. But before the military arrived, they had already beheaded an individual, young man. And then that was what really happened. And then the situation when the military arrived, according to the report I received, those young men ran away. And the military was able to recover the beheaded body.
Unfortunate incident.
Yes, so that was very unfortunate.
Okay.
Between yesterday night.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go on, please, Honorable. You said between
I have reached
yesterday
out
night.
to also, in terms of the situation, I've reached out to the Chief Security Officer of the local government, which is the Executive Chairman. I've also talked to the Executive Chairman of in the local government, Mr. Polly, this morning. And then we are going to speak to my colleague in Akwa Ibom State later today. And then we are trying to arrange a meeting at Uyo, where all these stakeholders, elected officials should meet. And then before inviting the chiefs and then other people that will be part of the peacemaking process.
Okay.
Also, it was obvious. Yeah, let me finish.
Yes, go on.
The issue is that we need the boundary adjustment, period. Without this boundary adjustment, both communities are laying claim to the piece of property. And then the federal rep, Honorable Ukomkole, has written, and the Senator OUK Carlo has also written to the National Boundary Commission. But for it to be effective, the states, both states must agree to do a joint invitation. Without a joint invitation, it's not going to work. So if both states invite the Boundary National Commission and they arrive and they agree that any decision by this commission is acceptable to both parties, that's when we can have a meaningful approach. Because I've been listening to, yes, so if we cannot, if we do not have the governor of Akwa Ibom and the governor of Abia State, okay, the executive governors, in a joint letter, either through the deputy governors, who by the constitution are required to deal with boundary matters. Invite these people, let them work this, because you cannot create a state without a boundary. It's senseless. Each state has a boundary. So you got to tell us where are these boundaries.
Let's look at these issues squarely while we try and solve the one that we can solve right now as we await the issues, resolution on the issues on boundary. There is a particular issue raised by the president of the union we spoke with earlier today about the presence of security operatives at Ubo community. He said there is no police post in that community, and the one that is the nearest one to the community is kilometers away. I don't know if you're aware of that. If that if something can be done about that, so that we won't have issues of killings, especially where an Abian was beheaded over the weekend.
Yes, I'm aware. I spoke to the DPO last night, because when they called me that they were sensing another attack last night. And DPO said, I do not have enough men. I am trying to secure my police barrack. I quickly then called the captain, Captain Mohammed, who is the leading officer. And we agreed that they must be at that Ubo. And they went at about 11:30 p.m. or 11:30. And they were there till this morning. The youth leader, all of them. So nobody slept. So I was online. So what we agreed to do is that we have to provide a position, provide toilets, provide like a little space where the military can stay. They're not going to stay in open space. They need to use the restroom. They need to take the bath. So that is what we are working on.
Okay.
The moment we have those facilities, confidence, the military is ready to provide.
Just before I
some
let you go this morning, beyond the meeting that you are proposing that will be held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, have you reached out to the governor of the state? Have you reached out to the deputy governor who is heading that boundary committee in Abia State?
Yes, sir. I quickly WhatsApped the deputy governor, who is the deputy governor of my state. Whatever I do, I must contact him, including Isu AROCHUKWU in all my constituency. He is fully aware. And then the local government chairman equally informed the governor last night. So the governor and the deputy are fully aware of what is going on.
All right. Honorable Michael Koha, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. We do appreciate.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
having me.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much. Honorable Mike is the member representing AROCHUKWU State Constituency at the Abia State House of Assembly. We'll quickly take the Commissioner for Information in Akwa Ibom State, and then we throw the lines open on the platform this morning on Flow 94.9 FM.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Between Akwa Ibom and our neighbors, Abia, has been under the review by both the governments. Recently, His Excellency the Deputy Governor, who is in charge of boundary matters, so I also met with His Excellency the Deputy Governor there. These are very touchy issues which must be handled carefully. By nature and circumstance, we are neighbors. And if you check communities, they intermarry. And so these issues must be carefully handled with the benefit of public relations, with the benefit of conflict resolution techniques. His Excellency the Governor is carefully studying it. So these things reoccur. They are not one-off. They reoccur. And we share a lot about not just work, we share about on different levels with Abia State. So His Excellency the Governor is looking at it. It is not about aligning with an allegation of a particular site. It is about finding a lasting solution. Now, I'm not been informed officially about it, but His Excellency the Governor is in charge, and the security unit will first report to him when issues like that happen. It's just like, and I'm sure by tomorrow, so I'll get an official briefing of from government. But if something happens like that, they will first inform who has a duty to know. So I'm sure that His Excellency the Governor may have been contacted, but I have not been officially briefed.
All right, the conversation we had with the Honorable Commissioner for Information in Akwa Ibom State, Ini Ememobong, he told Flow FM News that he was yet to be briefed on the incident as at the time we had that conversation. But we will definitely get back to officials in Akwa Ibom State to get their own side of the story. You've heard from Abia State government, from those in the community, from the special advisor to the governor on boundary matters, and also the member representing AROCHUKWU State Constituency at the Abia State House of Assembly. Let's quickly get reactions. And of course, before we wrap up the program this morning, 0808-182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. You can also drop messages on 0906-510-8289. You have just 45 seconds there. Let's quickly go straight to the point. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Michael. How are you?
You're welcome. I'm fine.
Yeah, happy New Year with my brother.
Thank you very much.
I remember Mr. Prince Will from here in Omonachogo.
You're welcome, Mr. Prince Will.
The issue of boundary dispute has been here from the time immemorial. Since my father born me, I've been hearing of that. Even we had such a serious problem with Abia State in the 90s, in the 80s. The issue is this, my brother. Any nation that plans to sell, sells to plan. The Nigerian government, under the 1999 Constitution has been amended, has given such powers of demarcation of boundaries and maintenance, review, and reconstruction of boundaries by the Boundary Commission. But believe me, my brother, all these things have not been taking place. Secondly, a nation that wants to plan itself must maintain its demographic culture. Census ought to be taking place every 5 years under the UN Convention. But in Nigeria, we put it as let's say 10 years.
All right.
We believe in up to 2006 we have had the last one. We have not had any other one. It's a very big challenge to Nigerian government. So to me, my take is this: all these measures by the National Boundary Commission should be taking place to review all these boundaries. Most importantly, these states that don't have natural boundary like Imo State, we have water and river that giving us boundaries. There's some areas that are living in the flat areas. This National Commission ought to be maintaining these boundary commissions. And, as population grows, we have problems of boundary.
All right, quickly wrap up the thoughts. Most
importantly, in the southeast, we have fragmented land. We don't have much of the land. Hello?
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution. We got your point. More Frank says... okay, let's get... Mazi Kelechi Olekama, we got your comment on our Facebook page. Ezeka Elvis says, it's high time the Abia State and Akwa Ibom State government found a lasting solution to this menace occurring between the borders of both states, because if not properly handled, it might lead to more disastrous acts. A stitch in time saves a lot. Let there be peace. Still on the Facebook page, Edwin Okwabio says, is it right Akwa Ibom State government and the Abia State government meet in round table to settle this crisis? Interesting. He's saying it is right, I believe. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Michael.
Yes, good morning. Welcome.
This is Anthony Mati calling from Akwa Ibom State.
You're welcome, all the way from Akwa Ibom.
Yes. You see, about this boundary problem every time, every day. The federal government has to settle this things once and for all. I'm calling from the place that are fighting with Osaka with Nkari. So we are the same people fighting between these two boundaries. So what they are supposed to do, they have to settle it once and for all. It's not something that this side they will call for settlement, this side they will not come, and this side they will not come. So every day the problem keep on rising. So there is no settlement about all this boundary problem. They will just come on radio, say one or two things, and then after everything, they will not settle the boundary issue. So they will be keep on fighting every day by day without settling. So that is what is happening between the two boundaries. So I'm from the same side that they are fighting.
Interesting. Thank you very much for your take. He's calling from those disputed areas, especially he's calling from a neighboring state, Akwa Ibom State. Anyways, we're going to sustain this conversation until we find a lasting solution to this particular issue, this renewed clashes between communities, of course, with the neighboring state, Akwa Ibom State. We do appreciate you. Keep your conversation, keep your comments pouring in on our Facebook page as we also going to review those comments. Thank you very much for joining us. Many thanks to the producer, Samson Eze, and also Samson's associate, Uyai Jimmy, and also the guys behind the videos you're seeing on our Facebook page, Solomon and Stanley. The program returns on Wednesday. My name is Michael Oni.